Kouri Richins feels aggrieved and is thus an intensely ambitious person.
What?
She feels aggrieved because growing up, her father was an alcoholic who traded parenting for prison, and her mother a gambler who traded parenting for a casino. Kouri Richins thus worked for her aunt, cleaning the homes of rich people in Park City. She was not beneath those homeowners, but she felt that she was. This fueled in her an intense desire to appear privileged, affluent, and successful.
What's going on, guys? Sorry.
She met Eric
Set
Richins.
everything up.
He was a successful business owner. He had money. They had a son, married, and had 2 more sons. Kouri Richins was on her way. But she was unhappy. She wanted to leave Eric Richins, but did not want to leave his money.
Didn't want to leave his
Their
money.
prenuptial agreement meant that if she left him, she would also leave most of his money. So, Kouri Richins took $250,000 in equity out of Eric Richins' home without him knowing it, so that she could start her own business and earn enough money to leave Eric Richins.
That's a nice way of putting
Kouri
it.
Richins is intensely ambitious.
Why did you have to kill him?
First with Eric's money and then other people's money, Kouri Richins carefully curated the facade of a privileged, affluent, successful business owner. Behind the facade, however, Kouri Richins was incompetent. She took tremendous
It's incompetent.
She borrowed money by any means necessary at exorbitant rates. She gambled other people's money and lost. Her business was imploding. All the while, Kouri Richins was more interested in spending time with Josh Grossman than Eric.
Yeah.
She dreamed of living in the Midway Mansion with Josh, running it as an event center, farming and raising kids. Eric's kids. But she did not have the money to leave Eric or the money to salvage her business. Kouri Richins is an intensely ambitious person.
You said that like 3
She
times
is a
now.
risk taker. There was a way forward. Eric had to die.
Uh-oh. A gun may be fired in a flash of anger, a rock carelessly hurled, a shovel swung in sudden fury, but a homicidal
As
murder...
Judge Mrazek just...
Hold on, a homicidal murder takes planning or something, that's what it said. But a homicidal poisoning requires a calculating intelligence. Deborah Bloom, The Poisoner's Handbook?
As Judge Mrazek just instructed, there are 5 counts. And each count has a series of elements. The state has to prove each count and each element of each count beyond a reasonable doubt. That is our burden. In this closing,
Forensic accounting? Did we see
will
them? I
go
don't think we saw them.
count by count, and then within each count, element by element, to show to you how the state has met its burden of proving aggravated murder, attempted aggravated murder, 2 counts of fraud, and forgery.
I just got on. Like 5 minutes? Kouri Richins is a very ambitious person.
That, again, is the reasonable doubt instruction that Judge Mrazek just read, and you will have back with you in the jury room. Judge Mrazek also read this instruction on what evidence is, and it's usually testimony and exhibits. To reiterate, what the attorneys say is not evidence. And as I asked you in opening, please focus on the evidence.
I'm waiting for it
Throughout
to
this
get good, you know?
presentation,
They should be
I
slamming
generally
her.
use this format for slides. And so everybody understands where we are, the count, and then the element within the count is at the top in the red banner. We then quote some witness testimony, and we cite it because it's the evidence that matters. So that you have, you'll have the exhibits back with you when you deliberate. And you can reference them. Usually it's a transcript, page, line, number of the testimony. We also publish exhibits.
I don't think she'll get off
And
in
usually
murder.
we'll have an exhibit number down here. If there's an exhibit, whatever, 2-5, so you can reference it.
I think she'll get hit with insurance fraud
Let's
because
begin
of
with the
what
aggravated murder.
I think she'll get hit with insurance fraud because of what Eric said to his sister about him not knowing or wanting that. So I think that's proof enough for any common person. And I think she killed him. But I think there's enough reasonable doubt for like the sandwich incident on Valentine's Day, and what other things? Oh, here they're up here. Insurance. So I think she's gonna get hit on the insurance fraud. I think she's gonna get hit on the aggravated murder. I don't think she'll get hit on the attempted murder. There's another insurance fraud. Maybe she'll get off on one of them. She should get hit with both of them and forgery. Well, I mean, like, these are all basically the same thing. I think she will get hit with the forgery, but we'll see.
Murder count.
Like, she has to in order to do the insurance fraud. So maybe I don't think the sandwich incident has enough weight to it.
The evidence will prove that Kouri Richins was the person who committed the aggravated murder. The evidence will prove that she intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Eric Richins, here by means of administering to him the illicit street drugs that she purchased from Carmen Lauber. She intended to kill him
Yeah, that's a Chewbacca.
with the illicit street drugs. It doesn't matter what illicit street drugs. We'll get into it more. It doesn't matter if it was the propofol, if it was the fentanyl that actually killed him, if it was oxy or some other illicit street drugs. She bought illicit street drugs to kill Eric Richins.
Who doesn't have a
That's
history of
what
drugs?
matters. That's murder. These two elements are just murder. Right? If we hide this, that's a murder charge. Here we have an aggravated murder charge, and the state will prove two separate and distinct aggravators. The first is for pecuniary gain. This is a why aggravator. Why did Kouri Richins kill Eric? For money. The second aggravator is a how aggravator. How did she do it? Here, by the administration of any substance, here it happens to be fentanyl, but it could be any substance administered.
Like, if Eric isn't a drug addict and he wasn't suicidal and no one else had motive to kill him, who the fuck else did it? You know what I mean? Drugs don't just appear in people's drinks out of nowhere. You know?
Administered in a lethal amount. Either one of those aggravators are what transforms this case from a murder case to an aggravated murder case.
I wasn't aggravated when I killed him. You take aggravated out of
First element, was it Kouri Richins? Yes. The state has proved that Kouri Richins had the means, here the fentanyl, the illicit street drugs, the motive here, money, and a fresh start at life, and the opportunity to kill Eric Richins. She was the
who
only
else had the
other
opportunity?
adult in the home at the time.
Who else could have done? The kids?
Nobody else killed Eric Richins.
Imagine it's the kids. How would the kids get the drugs?
Now, intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Eric Richins by administering the illicit street drugs. The state will prove with all kinds of evidence, testimony, exhibits, patterns of her behavior, and what each of us know about humans,
That's good.
that she intended to cause Eric's death. She intended it probably as early as December the 21st.
So the 250,000 was just like the house thing, right? Like she signed his name to either refinance or get like 250,000 worth of credit that they already get on the mortgage or something like that. Some house equity thing that he never signed. And then she also put out a life insurance policy on him and got a whole bunch of money. But I don't know if that was the I can't remember how much money she got from the life insurance. I'm pretty sure the 250,000 was the house thing.
Sorry, December the 7th,
Yeah, equity loan.
2021, when she booked a trip for her and Josh Grossman to the Caribbean for April. People don't book that trip. Kouri Richins did not book that trip thinking Eric Richins would be alive in April.
That's
She
why there's
booked it
two
knowing
insurance
he
frauds.
would not.
No, I'm pretty sure it was equity
In
loan.
December,
That sounds
before
familiar.
Eric died, before Kouri Richins murdered Eric, she told her friend, Becky Lloyd, in many ways it would be better if he were dead. That proves she intended to cause his death.
I think she was saying to Josh, too. You know?
This was the New York Life policy that covered the C&E buy-sell agreement. And on January the 1st, 2022, Kouri Richins changed the life insurance beneficiary on Cody's policy from Eric to her. The evidence proves that Kouri Richins didn't understand that was Cody's policy. And when she figured it out, she went ahead and changed it back. Because she planned to murder Eric. She did not plan to murder Cody. But she planned to murder.
Cody, one of the kids? I think she knows she's fucked. The defense didn't even have anything. They were like, we rest our case.
Two people, Hayden Jeffs and Carmen Lauber, for the Michael Jackson drug. Kouri Richins was a suburban mother real estate agent. She does not know a lot about the illicit street drug world.
Clearly.
But she knows Michael Jackson died
Well, Cody's your business partner.
from taking drugs. She doesn't know how to order a street drug, but she knows she wants the Michael Jackson stuff. She knows she wants it because it is lethal, it is fatal, it kills. And she wanted lethal, fatal death.
Man. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Who else would ask for something like that unless they wanted to die?
Kouri Richins is intensely ambitious. She wanted the perfect life, or at least the appearance of the perfect life. And for her, that meant Josh Grossman. But first, Eric had to go away.
See, I remember Josh saying that. I don't remember her saying that in text, but I guess she did. Because they showed it.
So with these transactions, when Carmen hit you up, what did she tell you?
She just told me that she had a friend that wanted,
Did she ask for blue specifically or fentanyl specifically, or did she ask for oxys, or what did she ask for?
think she might have asked me for blue. I can't remember.
But you sold her M30s, right?
Yeah, I told her what she knew what she was buying.
Okay, so she
I sell so much drugs, I forget which ones I sell.
it wasn't like she's asking for oxys or something like that, and she got the M30s.
Right, no.
Okay. She knew that there was fentanyl in those pills. Absolutely.
At Kouri Richins' request, Carmen Lauber purchased illicit street drugs from Robert Crozier. It's those illicit street drugs that killed Eric Richins. It's those illicit street drugs that Kouri used to murder Eric Richins. And while there may be some question as to whether she specifically ordered fentanyl or she knew she was getting fentanyl, the evidence proves she at least knew it.
For someone who's so ambitious, why, and wanted to be seen and have a perfect life, why would she want to get together with a hobo like Josh? Because he's easily controllable, I assume.
She wanted fatal, lethal, illicit street drugs. And all the testimony from Carmen Lauber, Robert Crozier, digital forensics, we'll get into it, all confirm.
She's ambitious, but I think Eric was probably more ambitious, or at least more successful. Can't have that. She's got to be the successful one, you know?
Kouri Richins ordered and received illicit street drugs, and that those street drugs contained fentanyl. Illicit street drugs is all that matters. But you heard the testimony that despite confusion in what people were ordering, people were getting fentanyl. The fake M30s looked like the real, the fake M30s looked like the real M30s. Everything on the street in early 2022 had fentanyl. That's how we know that it was this purchase that ended up killing
Can't do
Eric.
opiates anymore,
It's
guys.
the fentanyl. We can trace the fentanyl. Next slide.
Yeah, it does need to be. That's what I'm like.
The digital forensics.
In my mind, I was thinking about all the ways that I would do closing, and I was all excited for this. That's why we're watching it. He's like, I don't know. Maybe he'll get crazy at the end. The defense's closing statement should be funny.
Corroborate Carmen Lauber's testimony that 5 days before Kouri Richins murdered Eric Richins, Carmen Lauber purchased for Kouri Richins fentanyl from Robert Crozier at the Maverick in Draper.
I think it'll be Ursula. Imagine they put Sam Pepper in for closing. That'd be crazy. See, like this is pretty good evidence.
The call details
Like that. If it wasn't Carmen getting the drugs, like, cause they're talking to him a lot, and the other drug dealer a lot.
records show an extraordinary amount of overlapping communication between Carmen Lauber, Kouri Richins, Carmen Lauber, Robert Crozier during that time. We, of course, don't have the communications. Carmen Lauber deleted them because they were evidence of a drug deal. Kouri Richins deleted them because they were evidence of a drug deal and a murder. Robert Crozier said he had lost his phone. But that's an extraordinary number of communications.
Why can't we get the texts? They're somewhere. They're out there.
We know that Kouri Richins, the evidence proves that Kouri Richins used a Moscow Mule and a shot to administer the fentanyl to Eric. She writes it in her orange notebook where she journals what happened the night she murdered Eric. It's a self-serving journal. We'll discuss that down the road. But she wrote Moscow Mule in a lemon drop shot. And that is consistent with all the toxicology. Again, in the notes that investigators recovered from the kitchen cabinet in Kouri Richins' home, she wrote Moscow Mules. Lemon water, vodka, and rum. She left out the main ingredient, which of course is the ginger beer.
Hold on. I just wanna... I don't think I've seen this. Eric home 6 to 6:30 fighting with Mexican? Drink in bed. Drink half. Brush his teeth. I was in bed. This must be like the cops' fucking notes or something. Moscow Mules. Lemon water, vodka, rum. Or is this her? I don't know what this fucking is. Doesn't say.
Ingredient, which of course is the ginger beer. But there was ginger beer. We know that from the cock and bull that OME investigator Cam Sessions found in the trash can in the kitchen. It's interesting that Kouri Richins wrote vodka in parentheses rum.
Because the vodka is not rum. Is that why? That's weird.
The evidence may show that the Moscow Mule she made that night was ginger beer and fentanyl. The lemon drop shot.
Rum is fentanyl.
Maybe
Rum's code.
lemon and fentanyl. Notice that here she writes drink in bed. We'll come back to that in a minute.
So she wrote this?
The cock and bull, as I mentioned, corroborates at least the Moscow Mule.
Look, if he said that they found this letter, this list or something in a cabinet, if she just wrote this before doing this is weird. Like it's almost like a to-do list. Kill husband. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why I even write this down? You can't remember this? Yeah, right? I'm so confused. I thought for a second that it was like the police asked her to write down what happened or something, but he said that they found that in the cupboard.
And that we know the
Weird.
cause of death from the death certificate was fentanyl. The fentanyl and the illicit street drugs that Kouri Richins got from Carmen Lauber, who got from Robert Crozier.
I'm not.
We know that Eric ingested the fentanyl from the Moscow Mule, the lemon drop shop, or both. Medical examiner Dr. Pamela Ulmer, toxicologist Brianna Peterson, chief medical examiner Dr. Eric Christensen, all testified that the 20,000 nanograms per milliliter of fentanyl, an extraordinary amount, in his stomach indicates oral ingestion.
We're at 60 frames per second right now. I didn't even realize that. We're not
Indeed,
supposed
Dr.
to be.
Christensen not only
Oh,
testified to it,
Shit.
he told Kouri Richins that in their phone call that she recorded.
Girl, I was looking up now because I noticed that. Why is it like that? Why is that setting on? Hey. It just means my computer's using like
Ms.
way
Peterson's
more
testimony, as well as
CPU
Dr.
than it needs to.
Christensen, also proves that the fentanyl was illicit. Again, illicit coming from the street, illegal street drug, illicit fentanyl. And it was their testimony, right, was that there was not only fentanyl in the toxicology, but there was norfentanyl, which was a marker of an illicit fentanyl. There's also acetyl fentanyl as well. but it's the norfentanyl that is a marker of illicit fentanyl, which completely tracks with how Kouri Richins got the illicit street drugs.
Yeah, we haven't seen the forensic accountant, so we can watch that in between, like when the jury's deciding stuff or if stuff goes. Like, we're a little bit behind anyways because I keep pausing. I assume there's going to be dead air that we can jump through.
We also know that Kouri Richins
And then we're going to have to probably do Burkett sometime.
intended to kill Eric Richins because the toxicology contained quetiapine.
What is that? What is
Yeah, we may have lost the audio. Let's reset. My apologies.
Probably turn my light on. Hold on.
Quetiapine is an antipsychotic medication.
Last one. What is quetiapine? Quetiapine?
Quetiapine is an antipsychotic medication. It's called Seroquel.
Okay. I gotcha.
It's a prescription, mental health medication. It's prescribed for different things.
I gotcha.
She gave him Seroquel too?
The quetiapine in the toxicology for Eric Richins shows that Kouri Richins was involved because she was prescribed quetiapine. Now, this conversation that she recorded with Dr. Christensen is also very insightful. She pretends to not know what quetiapine is. It's her prescription. Of course she knows what it is. She pretends to not know what it is to cover up her involvement in putting the quetiapine inside Eric's body.
That's really stupid. Hold on. I didn't know that was even a thing. That's probably the stupidest, most damning piece of evidence because look, if you're how else would it have gotten in Eric's body? Eric's not taking that shit. You think Eric's taking Seroquel? So it's real convenient that a drug that you're prescribed, that you're pretending you don't know what it even is ending up in his drink as well. She's just trying to throw everything in there. It's like, man, the sandwich didn't work on Valentine's Day. We're going to have to fucking throw everything.
She feigns
That,
the
holy
ignorance.
shit, man. Also, I think she needs her antipsychotics. I don't think she should be fucking putting them in anyone's drinks.
She covers up her conduct in murdering Eric Richins in several ways throughout, beginning the night she murdered him, all the way through the walk the dog letter.
Walk the dog.
In the orange notebook,
Yeah, so she wrote a kid's book. I think it was in the first or second stream I did on Kouri Richins. We read it. Well, we had someone read it to us, and it was fucking terrible. She didn't even write it. She paid someone $2,500 to write it. And then she went on TV and promoted it. And then the people who interviewed her were interviewed, and they were like, what were you thinking? And they were like, we didn't know. We were suspicious, but we didn't know.
she writes, she jumped out of bed, ran, turned on the lights, grabbed her phone, and called 911. The evidence proves that is not true. The evidence
Oh, also, I guess I should. That's the important part is the book is all about her dead husband and like from the kid's perspective, and it's called "Are You Still With Me?" Clearly not, because your mom killed him.
proves that when she returned to their bedroom, Kouri Richins says she was in Ashton's room.
They paid $5.
There's no evidence of that. But she returned from somewhere to their bedroom, unlocked her phone, put it on speaker. There's no call detail records showing a call at that time. But she may have called on Wi-Fi. Somebody. That would not appear in the call detail records.
I think it would.
It would appear on her phone.
Hold on, what? Did she pretended to make a phone call? I hold up. I just gotta make sure I understand this right.
Put it on speaker. There's no call. But she returned from somewhere to their bedroom, unlocked her phone, put it on speaker. There's no call detail records showing a call at that time. But she may have called on Wi-Fi. Somebody. That would not appear in the call detail records. It would appear on her phone if her phone had not been deleted.
Objection, Your Honor. These are facts that are
Overruled.
not.
Please have a seat.
Sit the fuck down, Ursula, or Bart. That was Bart.
She then unlocked her phone again at 3:08, 3:10, 3:15, 3:19, 3:19. And then 15 minutes later, she called 911. That is not immediately called 911.
That's so... Who did she call? So there is a speaker. So the way that they know this is by in the phone's data. There's a speakerphone activation, which means like she called somebody, but then she wiped the records. Apparently, I didn't know Wi-Fi calls don't show up on like if it's through WhatsApp, baby. So she like might have called someone through WhatsApp or like Snapchat or like Instagram, fucking audio, talked to somebody, then unlocked her phone a couple more times, then called the police. Bro, what? We didn't know this before. I didn't know this before.
Perhaps she was staging the scene during these 15 minutes. We're going to discuss the 911 call in a minute. This is a receiver activation. At 3:22:12, when we're in the 911 call, she's on receiver on her phone. The 911 call operator asks her, "Are you on speakerphone?" She says yes. No. She's on receiver.
So she wasn't doing CPR.
Before we play this, sorry. We're going to listen to the first part, actually most of the 911 call again. I ask that as you listen to it, you'll hear the first minute. The first minute is not the sound of a
Trisha,
wife
I don't
becoming a
recall.
widow.
I
To
don't
echo
recall.
her friend Chelsea Barney, the first minute is the sound of a wife becoming a black widow. Listen to how Kouri Richins on the 911 call immediately presents,
On the floor.
very soon after the call begins, presents her alibi narrative. Listen to how she tells the 911 dispatcher where she was when Eric died. She is distancing herself. Rather than, he's not breathing, he has no pulse, I have to figure out what to do, I need help. She's saying, hey, look, I was not there, I was in my son's room.
Yeah.
That's her alibi.
She took a long time.
She's distancing herself from the time and the place that she murdered Eric. The 911 call operator asks her to perform CPR. Notice how she distances herself from that. No, I don't know how. No, he's too heavy. No, I can't move him. She is not immediately trying to revive him.
Yes.
We're going to run a
yes.
clock from the time that the dispatcher asks her if she can start CPR to the time she purportedly starts it.
Fuck it. Run the clock from when the call's first picked up, because she does a lot of not giving an address, not saying actually what's wrong, just wasting fucking time. Other people are actually like in need of help. You've already killed this guy.
It's 6 minutes. Listen, please, to the portion of the 911 call where the operator instructs Kouri Richins how to remove Eric from the bed.
Because she can't figure it out herself.
Listen how the dispatcher says, move to the side of the bed.
And she sounds annoyed when she's asked to do this stuff. She's like, I don't know how. You're just going to have to do it for me.
Kouri Richins says she does. Remove the pillows. Pull the arm, pull the leg, lift up the sheath, pull him off. If Kouri Richins is following the instructions of the 911 dispatcher, Eric Richins' body is on the floor on the side of the bed, not the foot of the bed where it was found.
I don't know why that matters.
Listen also to her choice of language. She has dehumanized.
I pointed this out, actually. I was like, listen, she's like, I can't move it. She calls him an it. Listen, she's going to play it.
Eric Richins.
I remember this.
When she is talking about removing Eric from the bed and she is protesting and she is saying she cannot, she is not saying, I can't move him. She is saying, I can't move it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Eric is no longer a him to him. She murdered Eric. Eric is an it. Finally, listen to when she says she is performing CPR and the phone is on speaker. The phone's not on speaker. Determine whether she's performing CPR. Okay, Scott.
My husband's not breathing. He's cold. Okay, what's the address? 282 Willow Court. 282 Willow Court? Uh-huh. Okay, what's the good phone number in case we get disconnected? 435 671 1987.
Whoever has that number now is probably getting blown up.
Okay, it's going to be in Francis. Okay, tell me exactly.
Imagine some poor old lady, it's her first cell phone. Oh, I should try this internet thing they keep talking about. It gets a whole bunch of texts. You're a fucking murderer. Fuck you. Go to jail. But she's like, oh my god, what is happening? Nah, that wouldn't happen.
See what happened.
I mean, it might, but hopefully not.
No, I don't know. I just came in. I was sleeping with my kids. Okay, I can't understand you. I need you to take a deep breath. What's going on? I don't know. I was sleeping in with my kids. I just came in the bed, in our bed, and I turned over. And he's just cold. He's just cold. Who's cold? My husband. I turned the light on him.
Yeah, people usually have to switch out because you can't keep the same rhythm over and over and over again. It needs a lot of force.
And he's not breathing? He's not breathing? No. I need you to confirm it for me. Is he not breathing? No. Okay, can you do CPR? No, I don't know how. You don't know? I'm going to tell you how to. Are you willing to do CPR? Yeah. Okay. If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it. No, there's not available.
So timer's going.
I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next, okay? Okay, are you right by your husband right now? Yes, he's so pale. His mouth is open. Okay, listen carefully. Are you able to lay him on the floor or the ground? On the floor on the ground? I'm just thinking, I can't touch him. I can't. You can do it.
In situations like this as well, 6 minutes would feel so much longer than 6 minutes too. It's time would be dragging. Fuck.
You can do it. You need to calm down, okay? We need to help.
Also, I think CPR, everyone is, you've seen CPR done, right? We all know it's like to the beat of Staying Alive. We all know that it's chest compressions, sometimes breathing into the other person's mouth. Like, I don't think you can say, I don't know how to do CPR. You could try. Trying would be better than just letting this guy die if you actually gave a fuck about him, if you weren't trying to kill him.
I can guide you through CPR. Take a deep breath for me. I'm here with you. He doesn't have a pulse. He doesn't have a pulse? No. There's no pulse.
You know what she's typing?
Okay. I'm here with
Caller, unwilling to do CPR.
I'm here with you. We need to get him help. If you need to put me on speaker, put me on speaker. I'm gonna guide you through CPR, okay? Okay.
I actually really like how he set this up. So she knows how to put it on speaker. She can't even say, I didn't know how to put it on speaker, because you were just on speakerphone with someone like minutes before this when you found out he was dead. And then you erased the call log. So that's a good, he double whammied that. That was good.
Tell me when you've done that. Okay, I'm ready. You're ready? Okay, he's on the floor? He's on the bed. Okay, are you able by any chance to move him on the floor?
She got throat punched.
Let me check. Spots on it. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I'm here with you. Are you not able to move him to the floor? Go out. Don't come in here. Oh my God, my sister. You're not able to move him to the floor? Just listen carefully. We just need to get him on the floor. Don't worry about hurting them. No, he's just too heavy. Is he still on the bed? Yes. Okay, if there's a sheet or a blanket under them, can you loosen it from the mattress? Yes. Okay, stand at the side of the bed closest to them and remove anything under the head. Okay. Okay. I need you to pull the sheets towards you and slide them off the bed. Don't worry about him falling. We just need to help him now. Okay. Tell me when he's on the floor.
I love this part.
I can't move it. It's just dead weight. Like it's. You're not. If he has sheets under, pull them to the floor. Don't worry about hurting him.
So I'm just gonna put it back one more time in case you think like it's not transcribed properly. She definitely said it. She didn't say him. There's no in there. It's it. There's a t.
You're not. If he has sheets under. I can't move it. It's just dead weight. Like it's.
It's just dead weight.
You're not. If he has sheets under, pull them to the floor. Don't worry about hurting him. Can you please send somebody? Okay, I have the ambulance that's on the way. Okay, there's another way to do this, okay? Grab their feet. Grab his feet. Okay. Slide them towards you until they're just off the bed. How old is your husband?
39.
39?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, were you able to put his feet off the bed?
Imploing.
Okay, now grab the arm closest to you and pull the rest of the way off the bed. Again, don't worry about the fall. We just need to help them now. I have the ambulance.
Yeah, I mean, any, like, actual, I don't know how to describe it, worry in her voice or distress would probably be because she killed somebody. And that's pretty crazy. That's also why she asked Josh, how did it feel to kill somebody?
On the way. I just need you to do this, okay, so we can get the help for him.
Okay.
Once they arrive, they'll take over. We just need to start CPR now. You are doing great, okay? I just need you to get him on the floor.
Okay, from the floor.
You got him on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay, listen carefully, okay? Make sure that...
And you would also think that if she were innocent, she would have some kind of reaction to being accused of this through this whole trial. Nothing. Just like arrogance. Arrogance and condescendence. That's all I get from her. I don't get anger that she's being accused of this. I don't get like, that she's overwhelmed with emotion. Like she actually lost a loved one and this is just the worst time of her life. She looks like she's annoyed as fuck and she thinks she's still gonna get away with it or something. It's weird. This is a weird chick.
There's nothing under his head. Is he laying flat on his back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh was in the army. He went to Iraq, so he got killed in the army.
Okay, just listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions, okay? Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone. This is in the center of the chest, right between the nipples.
Okay.
Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Okay.
Okay? Start pumping the chest hard and fast, at least twice per second, and 2 inches deep.
Which would have been impossible because she's not a speakerphone, so she can't have two hands and be able to hear her and her hear the operator at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, start counting out loud so I can count with you, okay? We're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Let me know when you're ready.
1,
1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Count out loud so I can hear you. I'm counting with you. 1, 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So she's probably just sitting there like
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. If it's easier for you, am I on speaker?
yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know if the front door is open?
No, it's locked.
It's, are you? I need you to go. Is there anybody else within the home, or is it just you?
That's all my kids.
Okay. Are one of them old enough to go unlock the door?
Yeah, it's unlocked.
It's unlocked now.
Yeah, he's here. He's there.
Okay.
Hit the, yeah.
no, nothing.
The protesting that was part of the 6-minute delay in Kouri Richins performing CPR. I can't move it. It is just dead weight. Contrast that 911 call with her self-serving text message to her best friend, Chelsea Barney. I tried so fucking hard to save him, his lifeless body on my bedroom floor. I pumped so damn hard, so hard, screaming at him to come back to life, that I needed him. None of that happened.
It's true.
She's covering up her involvement in murdering Eric Richins. Recall the alibi narrative at the beginning of the 911 call. Her letting the 911 operator and everyone know that she was not with Eric when he died. I was somewhere else. I was distant in place and time. When she calls her father-in-law, Eric's dad, Gene Richins, what does she say right at the outset? I was sleeping with Ashley and I came into the room. Gene, I wasn't there. Wasn't me. When Eric's sister Katie arrives, he wasn't breathing. I went to bed. I was in Ashton's room. He was having nightmares. I wasn't there. It was not me. Her alibi. Her cover-up. This is the written form that sheriff's deputies gave Kouri Richins early morning of March 4th to write out what happened. It says, describe in detail what you saw, know, or heard of the incident. Where does she start? Eric and I put the kids to bed around 9 p.m. We had a drink. In Kouri Richins' mind, that's when the incident started. It was the drink, and she knew it because she put the fentanyl in the drink.
Which is a stupid thing, because if you were innocent, you'd probably be trying to make sense of it and speculating, be like, well, he was here, 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 and here. Like, he went to work, he went to this gas station, I know he stopped at his buddy's house, and then he came home, we had one drink, he went to bed, and he's dead. So, like, maybe you should go check all the fucking places he was before this. But it is interesting that she's like, we had a drink, and then it's very telling. She's an idiot, basically. And, yeah, I'm glad she's gonna hopefully go to jail for murder.
She didn't start with, I walked into the bedroom at 3 a.m. My husband was not breathing and cold. Describe the incident. The incident for her begins around 9:15 when she has the drink, because she knows that is, in fact, when the incident began. And then more of her self-serving alibi narrative. It wasn't me, I wasn't there. Before she gets into really what matters.
What really matters? Money?
Intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Eric Richins. We know it was intentional because she planned the immediate reaction. When she spoke with Eric's sister, Katie, very shortly after medical examiners rolled Eric Richins' body out of his home for the last time, she told Katie that she was going to plan the she was going to follow through with the purchase of the Midway mansion. She was going to sell the home that she was living in. And she had a plan for running Eric's business, C&E. The morning of Eric's death. She had those plans in place because she knew she was going to murder Eric. She had already thought about not only murdering him, but what I'm doing immediately after murdering him.
I feel like I would need at least 24 hours, if not a week, to maybe process this and come up with a plan. I get like having to trek forward for the kids and the family or whatever, but you're gonna get a whole bunch of money from the life insurance. So I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that she had to plan to have everything was like, all right, the morning of his death. Sus.
Her plan with the Midway Mansion is consistent with her dream of living there with Josh Grossman, running it as an event center, farming and raising Eric's kids. Her plan to sell the home she lived in proves that she had no idea that home was in a trust, and she couldn't sell it. Her plan on running Eric Richins' half of C&E shows that she did not understand the buy-sell agreement, the life insurance coverage on the buy-sell agreement, or that life insurance coverage went to the trust, not her. The morning Eric died, she had a plan on how she was spending Eric's money and didn't realize it was trust money. We know that Kouri Richins intended to kill Eric. The evidence proves that she intended to kill Eric, in part based on her conversation with Josh Grossman shortly after killing Eric. Kouri Richins asked Josh if
Fucking Josh.
he had ever killed anybody. Killed was her word.
She's such a goofball,
Not
that
have you
guy.
ever lost a loved one. How do you agree? Not have you ever walked in and found a dead body unexpectedly. Not how do you respond to a tragic and horrible accident. It is how you have you killed.
Right.
And then she asked how it made him feel. She asked that because she was working through her own feelings on killing and wanted Josh to help her work through those feelings.
I think so. Could be.
And never
Very high
mind that that's a
probability.
highly selfish question. She's worried about working through her feelings on killing. Never mind Josh Grossman's feelings on having had to have killed in service of his country. It was her feelings that mattered. The walk the dog letter. There's a lot to unpack in this. But right now, let's unpack the fact that Kouri Richins says Eric gets pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico. She goes on to talk and says, Eric finally told me and asked if Carmen could get him some pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico. Some refers back to pain pills in Mexico from fentanyl.
Interesting that this has never been what she said. Not even what the defense has said to her until this fucking letter got put into evidence. And then they shut the fuck up. Evidence shut the fuck up. They didn't call any witnesses. They say we rest their case and now we're here. So, yeah, I don't know. That seems sus. That seems like you're just creating a narrative to get you off of murder.
Sorry, pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico. Kouri Richins knows 4 months after she's been arrested
She had a
for
lot of time to sit in her gel and think about this.
Eric Richins'
Sit in her cell. Just said gel. Sit in the cell and gel.
murder. A year and a half after she murdered him, she knows that she bought fentanyl, and she has to explain it. And how does she explain it? A year and a half after murdering Eric Richins? She blames it on Eric. Oh, I bought it for Eric. That's the sum of the evidence. Her self-serving statement asking her brother to testify falsely that she brought it from Eric. For Eric. Year and a half after she murdered. Kouri Richins did not tell the 911 dispatcher, hey, I just bought some fentanyl for Eric. She didn't tell the paramedics, he might be dying from the fentanyl I just bought for him.
Right. You might want to get some Narcan. I mean, they did hit him with Narcan, but it was like way too late.
He didn't tell the deputies that responded. He didn't tell Detective Woody. He didn't tell Dr. Ulmer. Didn't tell Christensen. Didn't tell her friends.
She just brings it up now when she's trying to get off of a murder.
Didn't tell her family. All the off-ramps she had the opportunity to take to say, hey, I bought the fentanyl for Eric. She doesn't. Because it did not happen.
Didn't even tell Josh, her secret lover.
She did not concoct this story until a year and a half after she killed him. And it is a story. It's a fake story that she wants her brother to testify to.
Did her brother testify?
There are, of course, other inaccuracies.
Who's this? What's this? Do we see this?
Kouri Richins in the Orange Notebook writes, self-servingly,
Hey, short sec.
when the EMT walked up to me and said he didn't make it, we did all we could, I lost it, I immediately ran to the bathroom. This is the video of when the EMT walked up to her.
Family members are going to be coming. His dad, her mom, family are going to be coming soon. Kids are in that door over there. There's 2 kids that are awake. They're in that door. Yeah, she said to the left. Yeah, I think that's the master bedroom. Or the master bedroom. So basically she said we went to bed at 9:30. She slept with the kids because then she goes to bed. When she went to bed, at around 3 o'clock, moved into her bed.
We'll stop it there. We could play it for several more minutes. She doesn't immediately or otherwise run to the bathroom and throw up. When people make up stories, they are inconsistent in the retelling.
Oh, is that what she wrote it down? So she could remember? That'd make a lot of sense.
Here, in the Orange Notebook, Kouri Richins says they make the Moscow Mule and the lemon drop shot in the kitchen, and then they go to bed and brush their teeth. Here, they drink it in the bedroom, not the kitchen. Kouri Richins tells her attorney, it's on the right, she tells her attorney that
I don't know if that's worth pointing out, to be honest.
Eric was on the phone
I'll be right back. Gotta peep.
when she went into Ashton's bedroom. But Eric Richins' phone activity tells a different story. Kouri Richins repeatedly said that she went into Ashton's bedroom 9:30, 9:45. Eric was off the phone before 9. In the Orange Notebook, Kouri Richins says that Eric was awake when she went into Ashton's room. And that rambling phone call with Bryce Knutson that Chelsea Barney recorded, she suggests that he was asleep, because she says when she returned to the bedroom about 3 a.m., Eric was in the exact same position as he was when he fell asleep. That means she was there when he fell asleep, not in Ashton's room. Her story is inconsistent in the details. That proves that much of it is fake. We've read text messages throughout this presentation. We'll continue to publish some more for you to read. None of those text messages were recovered from Kouri Richins' phone. They were recovered from Eric's phone, Chelsea Barney's phone, Josh Grossman's phone, but not Kouri Richins' phone, because they were deleted. That is part of her cover-up. When comparing the contents of the phone with few to no text messages, with the contents of the call detail records, with thousands of text messages, that's how we know they were deleted. When Detective Woody executed the first of the search warrants on April the 13th, 2022, and she informed Kouri Richins that toxicology showed that Eric died of fentanyl poisoning, Detective Woody seized her phone. On her phone that she got to replace the seized phone, on the phone that Kouri Richins got to replace the seized phone, these are the searches. What was Kouri Richins worried about? She was worried about the police recovering all her deleted text messages. Why? They're inculpatory. They would further prove that Kouri Richins bought drugs from Carmen Lauber to then murder Eric Richins.
Signs of being under federal investigation. These are all her searches.
Reveal what she was thinking.
Can FBI
She's
find
worried
deleted
about being
messages?
investigated. She's worried about having to take a lie detector test. She's worried about my office. She's worried about her seized electronics.
Is that one of the
Prison
searches?
is on her mind. So is money. She's interested in the life insurance. We don't know precisely when these searches were conducted. It's just not in the digital data. We have the data we have. But we do know that she hasn't been paid out yet on life insurance. And she started getting paid out in June of 2022. And this phone she got in April of 2022. So the inference is that these searches occurred between April and June of 2022. This one's the most insightful. If someone is poisoned, what does it go down on the death certificate as?
That was fentanyl.
She did search if someone accidentally ODs. She doesn't search if somebody is dead for unknown reasons. She searches if somebody is poisoned, because that is what happened. Now we have to prove that Kouri Richins intended to murder Eric Richins, which means we have to prove that Eric Richins did not commit suicide.
Yeah.
Kouri herself says he didn't. No mental health concerns. But the other evidence proves it as well.
Does it say methadone?
Eric
I was
had
grabbing
every
water.
reason to live. The first three of which are Carter, Ashton, and Weston. He was a phenomenal father. He protected his boys. He put his money in trust mostly for the benefit of them, to protect them. He was a protector. He's not leaving his boys. He was also planning for the future. He was a successful business person, and he and Cody had future business plans. He had future plans with his sister. They were planning family vacation to Disneyland. He was planning on buying a cabin in the Uintas with his father for the family. Every shred of evidence in this case proves that Eric did not commit suicide. This wasn't an accidental overdose. Eric Richins did not use drugs. He did not use illicit drugs. Set aside THC gummies.
Well, there's CBD. They
Boy,
didn't even find
Richins said
THC in
no,
his
never.
system.
To Deputy Wynn and Paramedic Offred. These are people that it would have made sense to tell he used illicit drugs to in the moment as Paramedic Offred's trying to save Eric's life. But no, she was honest. Nope, never. Same thing with Dr. Ulmer as they're reviewing the toxicology.
That timeline. No, he's never done drugs. Doesn't do drugs, doesn't do drugs, doesn't do drugs. Then all of a sudden, I bought him the drugs. He asked me to buy him the drugs. Okay.
And trying to explain the fentanyl, right? Dr. Ulmer's like, well, there's this fentanyl, really can't explain it. Did he do illicit drugs? No, never. Grossman, she's honest with anybody. She's honest with Grossman. No, Eric did not use drugs. Her best friend, another person she's honest with. Nope. Life insurance company? No. Chief medical examiner? No. And every bit of evidence that came into this case, everyone who testified and knew Eric well, his friends, his family, no, Eric didn't use illicit drugs. Not even prescription drugs.
Stupid packs, man. I ripped
Your
it.
Honor, this
It's
might
not
be a good
open.
place to take a break.
Let's do it. Folks, one moment. Just a friendly reminder. Don't talk about the case. Don't allow anybody to talk to you about it.
Okay,
Do
I need
not
scissors anyway.
do anything with your devices during this break related to this case at all. We'll return at 10:20. Please rise for the jury.
Fucking annoying. Alright, hold on. Oh, they're still on break. Okay, so I have things here. The forensic accountant. We can check her out. That we didn't see that.
Now let's go into the courtroom. First witness of the day, a forensic accountant.
Why is it like the fuck? Okay, hold on. Just want to know, what day did she fucking hell, what day did she show up on? Maybe I should take this time to fix. I don't think I can fix the frame rate. It's annoying too. What an annoying day. Dun 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 dun. Give me a second. I need to get the playlist. They might be back soon. Take a break before he gets into the financial hit. Well, we can, Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. This is annoying the fuck out of me. Are we good now? Let me see if that's better. Is it better now? Should be better now. I had to switch it to 30. And I don't know if it's gonna mess it up or not. So if it's like starts super glitching, just let me know. I'll just like restart the whole stream, I guess. This is the playlist. I'm gonna have to, I guess, look up when
231-500-139. Mr. Bloodworth, are we ready for the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's do it.
Oh, my computer's being such a fucking bitch right now.
Please have a seat as you can. Please have a seat. Mr. Bloodworth, you can make sure that mic is still on, and please proceed. Very good.
Thank you, Your Honor. Recall at the outset of closing when we were looking at the aggravated murder charge. I mentioned the first two elements are murder, and then we get into the two aggravators. So the closing up until now has been the murder charge. That is straight murder, but the state, of course, has charged aggravated murder. So now we'll talk about the two aggravators. The why aggravator, money motive, and the how aggravator, administering any substance in a lethal amount. You'll recall Brooke Carrington's testimony. And when she began her forensic accounting analysis, this drew her attention. The number of overdraft and non-sufficient funds transactions beginning in April. That jumped from 1 in September to 37 in October, beginning in October. That jumped from 1 in September to 37 in October to 77 in December. And Brooke Carrington's analysis was the beginning of the downward financial death spiral.
I spelled statement wrong.
Then Ms. Carrington analyzed the overall debt. And it showed,
I guarantee it's going to start glitching again. Watch.
A growing debt picture nearing
a lot of debt.
$8 million in debt when Kouri Richins closed on the Midway Mansion. All the while, she's not paying it off. She's barely sending her creditors any money. And it's never an increasing amount of money. It's flat. The payday loans particularly showed distress to Ms. Carrington. This isn't a traditional mortgage. This isn't even hard money lending. This is give me money today, I'll give you money when you get paid at an extraordinary, exorbitant interest rate. And when Brooke Carrington saw this, she sees the line here go flat.
Max out.
Payday lenders would no longer lend to Kouri Richins.
Yeah.
She was
What
barely
happens?
paying them off, or barely paying towards them. Kouri Richins lost money flipping homes. You heard Brooke Carrington testify about the extraordinary growth and unsustainable level of growth for even sophisticated business people. Kouri Richins is not a sophisticated business person. She didn't even understand fundamental accounting, fundamental tax reporting. Brooke Carrington plotted out the profitability analysis of each of Kouri Richins' home flips. Kouri Richins, when she bought a home, when you total up the home she bought and the loan she took out, she started her projects $2 million in the hole. When she was finished her projects, of money that Brooke could trace to expenses, she could only trace about half of it to expenses because Kouri Richins did not conduct normal accounting. Kouri Richins lost $469,000 on her home flips. But recall that Brooke Carrington testifies there's this other pot out there of
Bad at murder, bad at
$400,000
house
that
flipping.
I know she lost. I just can't trace it to a particular project.
Yikes is
When you
right.
add those up,
What
it's
the
nearly
fuck?
$900,000 loss in flipping homes alone. And recall that Brooke Carrington said that does not count the foreclosures. While deliberating, you'll have this, and on the second page, you'll see all the foreclosures. She lost millions more in foreclosures. To include foreclosures on Chelsea Barney's home and the Midway Mansion.
You need 2 million rupees.
Kouri Richins would borrow money by any means necessary. 6 times she submitted inaccurate bank statements to lenders to get money.
What were the bank statements?
Those
I have
bank
millions.
statements reflected her business account and balances in C&E's business account. This evidence proves the level of financial desperation that Kouri Richins was in late 2021 and early 2022. The next level of financial desperation is taking $45,000 of your best friend's hard-earned cash tips from waitressing, telling her that you are going to apply that as a down payment to a mortgage on her house where she lives with her partner and her children.
She pulled a Randy, you guys.
And then diverting part of it to pay off Fund 5 Merchant, a payday lender. And spending the remainder of it, as Brooke Carrington testified, on expenses to rehabilitate homes and servicing existing debt.
So you really got to see it from this perspective, right? It's real convenient that all of her problems just disappear as soon as her husband dies. Right? She was having an affair and with another guy anyways. She wanted out of the marriage and she was going to go to jail probably for all this fucking other debt. So she's like, well, I don't like my husband anymore. Let's get rid of him and then let's also pay off all the debt and let's just move on with our lives.
Then, telling your friend, your best friend.
Well, that's what Brooke says Randy did to her. I gave him $80,000 and he didn't put it towards what he said he was going to. He just spent it all. Yeah, are you sure about that?
Since middle school.
These guys were best friends, though. This evil woman.
That you applied the money to the loan. Here's the deed, sign the deed. And then not filing it. And you will see, if you review that Brooke Carrington's schedule that had all the property transactions, you'll see that not only did Kouri Richins not file the deed, she took out another loan on the house. That's the loan that was foreclosed on, that resulted in Chelsea Barney, her partner, and their children getting evicted and losing their life savings. That is the next level of financial desperation that Kouri Richins was in January 2022. There's the tax liabilities. In the grand scheme of the amount of debt, 150 grand in tax liabilities is de minimis, but they were on her mind. There's an interesting little nugget here. She underreported her expenses in flipping homes to her tax accountant, which resulted in her paying more taxes than she would have.
So
one would think
she's not only evil, she's fucking stupid. What? Why?
A sophisticated business person would think to...
Is it because she wasn't paying Josh? I'm so... This is just really stupid.
Limit their tax liability. That's not what interested Kouri Richins.
That's true. Yeah, smart evil people get away with it.
Was the appearance of success in business, the appearance of affluence. And by underreporting her expenses, it looks like she made more money than she did, and she appeared more successful than she was. Because she cared not about being successful, she cared about her facade. She cared about appearing successful. You'll recall that C&E distributed $36,000 to pay some of this $150,000 tax liability, which Kouri Richins then diverted to close on a home. And her tax liability was on her mind. 2 days before murdering Eric Richins, she spent over an hour and a half on the phone with the IRS. It was on her mind because if the IRS moved on her tax liabilities, Eric would find out. She had to fix it with the IRS before Eric found out.
That's a long time to be talking to the IRS.
You're familiar.
Like, I don't know how different the CRA, the Canadian Revenue Agency, is to the Internal Revenue Service. I don't know what the IRS stands for in America, but I owed the Canadian IRS like $5,000 one time, and it was like a 2-minute conversation. So an hour and a half with the IRS. I just imagine she's trying to play deal or no deal with them.
Kouri Richins needed cash immediately when she murdered Eric. Eric's long-term earning potential, immaterial. She wanted to close on the Midway Mansion. She had no money to refurbish it, to flip it right away, to run it as an event center. But she was going to close on it. She needed money now. Doesn't matter if Eric's going to earn a ton of money down the road. That does not help her now with the Midway Mansion. It does not help her now with servicing her existing debt. She needs money now because she's closing on the Midway Mansion on March the 4th. And when she closes on the Midway Mansion, it's worth $2.9 million. She's borrowing $3.2 million. None of it's her money. She's reaching into other people's pockets to get that money.
Bad, Kouri.
Not only does she want money to purchase the Midway Mansion, she wants $87,000 for herself. She takes out $87,000 at closing, and how does she spend it? Servicing existing debt and expenses for rehabs.
Oh, for the house, not for humans. I thought you meant drug rehab for a second.
She ultimately closed on the Midway Mansion the day after she murdered Eric. There's an interesting thought here. Did she close on the Midway Mansion in spite of murdering Eric? Or did she close on it because she murdered Eric? She hedged.
In spite?
She was supposed to close on the 4th. She didn't want to close until she knew Eric Richins was dead.
They're whispering about something.
Because she knew she would have his money. She knew she could do something with the mansion. And that's why when everybody else signed on the 4th, or in advance of the 4th, she signed on the 5th. It's unconscionable that she closed in spite of his death. It's unconscionable that she closed because of his death.
What we whispering about?
This is probably Kouri Richins' true plan for the Midway Mansion. And if Eric had not put most of his assets into trust, could have happened.
Why does it say after? I think they mean before. I think it's supposed to say before. He was murdered in
Recall
March.
Harrington's testimony that after closing on the Midway Mansion, Kouri Richins' liabilities were right about $8 million, and she was in the hole $1.6 million. Her net worth was negative $1.6 million when she murdered Eric. And that her business was in financial distress, her financial enterprise was collapsing, had been collapsing, and but for a significant infusion of cash and capital would continue to collapse. That significant infusion of cash and capital was supposed to be Eric Richins' money. You have a fortunate perspective during this case in that you get to observe the defendant. You get to observe Kouri Richins. And you observe her affect with some, when some witnesses testify, and you observe her affect change when other witnesses testify. You observed that when we played the 911 call during trial, her affect was flat, no emotion.
Fake emotion. But yeah.
You also observed that when Brooke Carrington testified about the financial distress of her business, she was exercised. Because that testimony pierced her facade. It pierced her facade of being a successful, privileged, and affluent person.
That's what Amber was saying.
It was a narcissistic injury. She was
I haven't seen
bothered
that yet,
because
but
the world saw that
yeah,
she
apparently.
was indeed not a
Cold in
success
here.
and not affluent. The bulk of Eric Richins' estate was in insurance coverage. Some of it got paid out to the trust, some of it got paid out to Kouri Richins. Kouri Richins knew this, knew that much of his estate was insurance coverage. And different than taking money from Eric's home equity, different than taking money from Eric's bank account, to take Eric's insurance money, Eric has to die.
Stop whispering, Bart.
Now for the aggravator of administration of any substance in a lethal amount.
Those old-timey ladies.
The substance here happened to have been fentanyl, could have been any part of the illicit street drug that she bought, happened to be fentanyl that she administered in a Moscow Mule and a shot or a shot.
I didn't hear about that though. Maybe he
That's
misspoke
how
earlier.
She administered it because it was in his belly. We know it was a lethal amount. The death certificate, fentanyl killed him. That's the substance, lethal amount. Can be as small as 3 nanograms per milliliter. And in this case, he had 15. 5 times what can be a lethal
A
amount.
nanogram?
That, by the way, is not an accident.
Bring Oxys
That
back.
amount of fentanyl shows that Kouri Richins wanted
Fuck.
Eric not only dead, but good and dead.
Yeah, because the sandwich didn't work.
Now, count 2. The aggravated murder. The elements are the same as count 1. The only difference is attempt. Attempt requires, as the court instructed, a substantial step. There's plenty of substantial steps from.
Do you guys think we're gonna get to read the love note? I have looked for it on the internet, and I haven't found it. If you guys know where it is, can you link it to me? Because I'd really love to read it. The one that she left with the sandwich.
Ordering the drugs to making the Moscow Mule. Here, the aggravated murder count proves the attempted aggravated murder count and vice versa. The commonalities between Kouri Richins' conduct are not coincidental. In each instance, she purchased drugs from Carmen Lauber a few days out. In each instance, she spoke with the IRS a few days out. Taxes were on her mind. Eric would find out if the IRS was after them. In each case, she had an immediate financial stressor. We just discussed closing on the Midway Mansion. If you look at Brooke Carrington's materials, she had a note due on Chelsea Barney's house. shortly before February the 14th. She had an immediate financial stressor in each instance. In each instance, she administered the substance in a
Who in their fucking right mind is giving this lady, this goofball, millions of dollars? Why? So stupid.
way that Eric would ingest it. On Valentine's Day, it was a sandwich. When she murdered him, it was a drink.
This may sound crazy. This may sound insane. But I almost feel like the banks and the lenders should be somewhat liable for giving such a fucking idiot so much money and not having the foresight to be like, this might lead to bad things. Like she might do something evil. It's just it's unnecessary. In no world nobody should be lending this woman millions of dollars with her track record.
Notice that she learned from her mistake. One can season a sandwich with fentanyl. Eric can eat it, tell something's wrong, set the fentanyl-laced sandwich aside. You throw a lemon drop shot back. By the time Eric would notice, the shot was in. It was in his body. Moscow Mule, just to be good and sure.
To be good and sure.
In each case, she leaves Eric alone. She distances herself from the dirty deed. She leaves the bedroom when she murders him. She leaves the county when she attempts to murder him. That's part of her alibi. Not only can she not be present, she has to be distant. So that when she calls 911, she says, I wasn't even there. I was in Utah County. And in each case, she has a delayed response, right? It's the delayed response in calling 911 when she murders him.
I like the setup for this, actually, because it does show that the attempted murder follows the same formula as the actual murder.
And it's her delayed response in returning home when she failed to murder him. The element of, again, is it Kouri Richins? Yes. She is the person with the means, the motive, and the opportunity. Nobody else. The means, illicit street drugs in the sandwich. The motive, money, fresh start at life. The opportunity, she left the sandwich in Eric's spot. Intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Eric Richins, right? It's attempt, so attempted to cause the death of Eric Richins.
You see how in sync him and Scott are? He just has to point at Scott. Scott knows what to do. Go to the next slide. Let's see how well Katie does in the defense's closing statements.
The same reasons.
Be like, Katie, show slide 3. It's going to be like Katie and her dog. Be like, Katie, how'd that get in here?
She told Becky Lloyd it would be better if he were dead. She wanted the Michael Jackson stuff, the lethal stuff, the fatal stuff, the stuff that kills. She wanted Eric Richins' life insurance. You only get life insurance when Eric's dead.
That's kind of how it works. See, couldn't we have faked his death? Couldn't you have let your husband in on this? Hey, husband, the IRS is going to come after us. So we should probably fake your death. And then we can get the life insurance and I could get all the debt taken care of and we'll run away. We can go live in Bali or something. But nah, I have to actually kill him.
The commonalities persist. Kouri Richins ordered fentanyl from Carmen Lauber, or ordered something from Carmen Lauber, the Michael Jackson stuff, the fatal stuff. Carmen says, I told her I could get her fentanyl. She said, okay, get the fentanyl. But she ordered illicit street drugs from Carmen Lauber, who got them from Robert Crozier at the Maverick in Draper. Again, the volume of calls during the drug purchase between both Kouri Richins and Carmen Lauber and Robert Crozier and Carmen Lauber. And recall, we don't have the content of the texts because they were deleted from Kouri Richins' phone, deleted from Carmen Lauber's phone, and Crozier lost his phone. The IRS was on her mind. She called him twice, 3 days before attempting to murder Eric Richins. We know she placed the call to the Mirror Lake Diner to order a potentially fatal sandwich. We know that Kouri ordered it.
Hold on.
Kouri picked it up in person. It was
It's a $41 sandwich? No wonder we're in so much debt. Holy fuck. There must have been more than just a sandwich, hopefully.
swiped.
They put the fentanyl in the sandwich at the store, that's why it's overpriced.
Don't know if you can tell that's Kouri Richins' signature, but notice it's one stroke. There's no pen lift. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Kouri Richins then distanced herself. She left the sandwich for Eric, and she drove an hour away to meet up with Josh Grossman on Valentine's Day. There's another commonality between the attempted murder and the murder, of course. They're big days. Losing your husband on Valentine's Day, that garners extra sympathy.
About the money thing, you guys might be behind. Coming in the future, yeah, I mean, like, I just mean, do you think this is the first time someone's killed over this amount of money? Obviously, if you give a fucking, I keep calling her an idiot, but basically, like, she's not equipped to have that much money. I don't even know how she got that much money. It's crazy to me. I guess because she was fudging the bank statements and stuff. Like, it's going to end poor. You're not going to get your money back either. I don't get the concept of it. You just want people in debt so they get into crazy positions where the only way out is jail or killing somebody. Like, obviously, yeah, there could be some more fail safes. I think once you get $1 million in debt, you should probably be cut the fuck off until you figure your life out.
Extra attention. Losing your husband the same day you're supposed to close on the biggest purchase of your life, that garners extra.
Yeah, there's that in itself, and it is very easy to lie about your finances. It's extremely easy to fudge that. There should be more checking somehow.
Extra attention. The type of attention that Kouri Richins relishes in.
Well, yeah, she forged his name on the equity loan, right?
You heard Kouri Richins testify how Eric was a cowboy when it came to injury or illness. He worked through it all. He cowboyed up. Cowboys don't go to the hospital unless they're near death. They don't even think about going to the hospital unless they're near death. And at 11:33, Eric's thinking about going to the hospital. And then all the activity, the physical activity on his phone ceases for 87 minutes in the middle of a busy workday. Shortly after activity resumes in Eric's phone, he calls his best friend and business partner Kouri Wright. Recall Cody said he could hear the fear in Eric's voice, a fear he'd only heard twice before, both times associated with death. A fear he heard when Eric told him his mother had passed away,
Your guest cowboy.
and a fear he heard when someone who struck Eric's truck in an automobile accident, and Eric thought that person might have passed away.
I trek through pain. Yeah, the jaw pain. No, I still streamed. I took one day off with the jaw pain. I think that was the Saturday after, not last Feral Friday, but the Feral Friday before, because that was the first day it came in. And then I was originally, I should be actually going to get my new health card, but I was like the Kouri Richins trial, and the jaw pain is gone. It's completely gone now. But I do need to get my health card renewed, because if something really bad happened, I wouldn't be able to go to the hospital. I would, but they would say, you owe us a lot of money, guy, with the health card, man. So I gotta get that fixed.
He then spoke with his hunting buddy and close friend Josh Kays. You know and learn a lot about somebody when you hunt together and travel together. And Josh Kays said Eric sounded somber and serious.
We didn't get to hear from him either. I don't know. I don't know how long of a break it's going to be while the jurors decide, but I want to check the forensic accountant. I want to check Corey's best friend. I want to check Eric's best friend here. Interesting that his name is Josh, too. That would be weird.
Josh asked Eric perhaps the two most pertinent questions. If he was going to the hospital, and what was he going to do about it? Let's turn to alley staking, singular, not
You're
plural.
chopping now. I think it was actually my ear upon further analysis, because it was my ear that was like going into my jaw, and then all this like gunk came out of my ear. It was like leaking the last couple of days, and now we're good. So yeah, I don't know. And then I was gonna go into the walk-in clinic, but they were like, "You're gonna have to pay us if you don't have a health card." And I was like, We'll tough it out a bit more.
Clearly close with Kouri. Friends since middle school. You observed the banter when Miss Staking was testifying, the banter between her and Kouri Richins. It was friendly. She's still friendly with her. And Allie Staking testified about how a week or two after Valentine's Day, when Kouri Richins attempted to murder Eric, when I questioned her, she said, well, Eric jokingly, kind of jokingly, maybe jokingly, said that Kouri Richins tried to poison me. Perhaps joking. But Kouri Richins' reaction is what was important here. Kouri said no. She got defensive. That is not what happened. It was like an allergic reaction or something. It wasn't at all dramatic. She is covering up her poisoning him. Then when defense counsel questioned Ms. Staking,
I don't want to give Kouri any outs, but it really depends on the context of the relationship Eric had with this Allie person. Like, if they're best friends for a while, she could be, if she's jealous of this person in any way, she might be defensive just because of that. Like, she might not realize that it was a joke and then be like, oh, that dumb bitch, she's trying to steal you from me? Of course it was. Why would I have done that? You know what I mean? But a normal person, if she had no resentment towards this gal, they would probably just joke it off. Like, yeah, Harry, if I were going to poison you, I'd do this or that. You know, like, just joke back about it, I'd imagine. But I don't know. Anyways.
Ms. Staking kind of backed off the jokiness of Eric's comment and attributed the jokiness to everyone else.
I can see Eric being like, she's crazy, but not that crazy. She don't want to try to poison me or anything. Little did he know.
Ali Staking said, or defense counsel questioned, what did he tell you? That he believed Kouri had tried to poison him. Maybe it was one of those joking things like, I'm sending a message to Kouri Richins. I know what you tried to do. I'm joking about it, but I'm going to let you know. Maybe he was serious. Either way, comes back to Kouri Richins trying to poison him on Valentine's Day. Kouri Richins repeatedly tries to cover up that she tried
Those fucking idiots. Just like in the GIF.
to murder Eric on Valentine's Day. She says she was home with him. She tells her best friend, Chelsea Barney, I was home with him. She was not.
Can't even make her husband a homemade sandwich on Valentine's Day. Has to spend $41 on it.
She was with Josh Grossman. She did not come home until after 6:30.
Yeah, these are the closing statements. So these are the states, and then we're going to hear the defenses, and then the jury's going to run away for a bit to make up their mind, and then at that point, we're going to look over some stuff that I haven't seen. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I haven't seen it. And then when we get back, we're going to find out, hopefully today, if she's guilty or not. But maybe the jury will be like him and Han. Maybe they'll be an idiot. Here's like, I believe her. I think she's innocent. And then they have to argue for like 12 days or some shit. Who knows? Who knows? I'm pretty sure they're going to say guilty.
30 p.m. She was saying he never broke out in hives or used an EpiPen. That means he broke out in hives and used an EpiPen. When she spoke with her mother on August the 22nd, when she says she didn't put a love note and the sandwich in the front seat of his truck, she put a love note and the sandwich in the front seat of his truck. She is trying to distance herself. She is trying to cover up. She is trying to deflect.
Interesting, actually, because this is a conversation with her mom, and the mom says, you put a love note in the seat of a truck, and Kouri's like, no. And then she's like, yeah, exactly. I want to read the fucking love note. Baby cakes, apparently. The private investigator's seen it. We've only heard Josh and Kouri's cringe text to each other.
When Eric said he was thinking about heading to the hospital, what did she say? Take a nap. Call me when you're up. She's saying that thinking he will take a nap and not wake up.
Now, in my perfect world, the prosecutor will pull up next. Now, this is her search history of how long it takes for someone to die of an overdose before she checks back in on him. But he didn't die, so, like, obviously, I don't know. I don't think that's in here.
When he does, Eric texts Kouri. He's asking if she's home because he had just said, I'm going to hospital. Then he had stopped communicating, or he said, I'm thinking about going to the hospital, and then stopped communicating for nearly 2 hours. He's figuring she was coming home to assist him, but she wasn't. She's in Provo waiting for a cabinet installer guy. Maybe. She says then she's going to head home in 20 minutes. Nearly 2 hours later, Question mark. Where are you? You were heading home 20 minutes ago.
Josh.
She responds, what? Thanks for answering. Did you call? You didn't call. She thinks he's heading home. She's not. She's trying to figure out what to do. She's trying to figure out what to do because Eric survived. She had not planned on that.
I wonder what she planned on.
She's delaying to make her plan. And then at 6:34, Eric texts, we're headed in there. Food is on the front seat of his truck. The same place she left the poisoned sandwich with the love note. Eric Richins is telling her, I know what you did.
I don't know if that's what he's saying.
That is the attempted aggravated murder. But that is the attempted murder. Now, of course, we have the two aggravators. They're the same. Same as with the aggravated murder. The money motive, same. Similar financial distress, same. There's also the first started life motive, right? That hasn't changed a bit. Josh Grossman, it's Josh Grossman on Valentine's Day, and he's Josh Grossman on March the 4th. Money motive the same, fresh start at life motive the same. Now the second aggravator, administration of any substance in a lethal amount. Recall Dr. Eric Christensen's testimony that hives, EpiPen, all consistent with an opiate-like or an opiate allergic-like response, a pseudo-allergic response.
I don't know about that.
Hives, EpiPen.
To be fair, though, I'm not allergic to anything. Like, my celiac disease is not really an allergy. It's more my insides will rot from the inside out, and I feel like I'm dying. So, like, I don't get hives or itchy or anything. But I've done a lot of opiates and, like, opioids. And that kind of itchy, it's not... I don't think it would be the same as... I don't think you would mistake that feeling as I have hives, right? It almost feels like you'll just end up scratching, like, your leg for an hour because it feels nice. But it's not like... I'd imagine hives. There would be physically hives on you, and you would be, like, welting up. And you would know the difference between an allergic reaction and an opioid response, and unless you're allergic to the opioids.
Along with zero activity.
But then if he was allergic to them, he would have died the first time, no? I don't think he was allergic to Tylenol.
That Kouri Richins attempted to administer the illicit street drugs that she bought 3 days earlier from Carmen Lauber in a lethal amount. She just failed.
I could see you thinking you have the flu or something.
Next guy.
You throw up.
The insurance
you would get
fraud.
hot. It would feel
There are
more.
two insurance fraud.
And you would be hot. You would throw up. You would you'd be high. So obviously you wouldn't be in the right state of mind. I could see you feeling like, oh my god. But I don't know if I would think it's an allergic reaction. I guess is all I mean.
Frauds. Let me distinguish them, please, for
Not
you.
really.
The
Not
first
many
one is a
stingers.
scheme charge, a fraud scheme. The second one is a fraud claim charge. Count 3, the
He had been prescribed hydrocodone before, though, and he didn't take them because he didn't like how they made him feel. So I feel like he would know.
scheme charge relates to the $100,000 True Stage policy. We're going to put it up in a minute. The fraud claim charge relates to the $250,000 true stage policy.
It'd be better if I was actually allergic to something so I could compare the two, but I know I'm not.
The forgery, which we will get to, is a forgery related to count 3, the scheme charge. Let me unpack them now. Okay. Different than the aggravated murder and attempted aggravated murder, I'll address all elements of the insurance fraud scheme kind of at once because they all jump out of this single page. And the scheme is quite simple. Kouri Richins wanted to murder Eric Richins, thus took out an insurance policy on his life to get money for murdering Eric Richins. Then she murdered Eric Richins, and then she submitted a claim to get the money. That is the scheme. And we know it was...
It's not even complicated. I feel like anyone could wrap their mind around it, so that's good. This should be an easy one. I have to pee, and I'm going to smoke a bowl. I'm going to grab something to eat, so I'll be right back. Be good little angels.
Kouri Richins, because everything on this application for this $100,000 true stage insurance policy returns to Kouri Richins. Kouri Richins received the application because she was a member of PedFed. The application was addressed to her at her work address, so she would have been the one to receive it. If there was any questions about it, any further follow-up mailings about it, they would go to her and not to Eric. This applicant information is all her, but the partner information is all her as well. Her work address, no email address where they could contact Eric. We'll get to the Social Security number in a minute. The primary phone, that's not Eric's phone. You'll see that Eric's phone is 801-792-9317. And when you look at this closely during deliberations, you'll see that was originally a 7 that she later marked up to read like an 8. She initially wrote his correct phone number, then did not want anyone from True States to call him, so she changed the 7 to an 8. So that Eric would never know that this policy existed. After Kouri Richins took $250,000 out of Eric's home equity, he put all of his insurance that he knew about into the trust. If Eric had filled this out, the beneficiary would have been the trust, not Kouri Richins. Then we'll get to the signature. That's the fraud count 5 as well. It plays into this. We'll talk to it during count 3. But it's also the freestanding charge in count 5. Let's go to the next page. The Social Security number was blacked out for privacy reasons on the application we just reviewed. But you'll recall Ann Coates testifying that the last 6 digits were transposed. We all know our own Social Security numbers. We often get a little bit confused on our spouses. Eric did not sign the application. Matt Throckmorton, the handwriting expert. Eric did not sign it. It was probably a simulated forgery. Recall his testimony that Eric Richins has pen lifts in his signature. The forged one didn't have any pen lifts. You'll see Kouri Richins' signature throughout this case. No pen lifts. Then, Kouri Richins filed a claim for this $100,000 true stage policy. It's actually the same claim for both policies. And she said she really does not know where her husband, Eric, got the fentanyl from. Of course she knows. She ordered it from Carmen Lauber. That is the fraud scheme. Plan to kill Eric, fill out life insurance so I can get money for killing Eric, kill Eric, and then claim the money. Now for the insurance fraud claim count 4. This is the true stage $250,000 policy. This is the claimant's statement filled out. Kouri Richins beneficiary, Kouri Richins email, Kouri Richins address. Everything about this claim says Kouri Richins is submitting this claim. And then, like before, the fraud here, the falseness of it is she says she doesn't know where the fentanyl came from, when in fact she ordered illicit street drugs from Carmen Lauber. And indeed, later in the Walk the Dog letter, admits to asking Carmen for fentanyl.
So for this to not be fraud, right? Let's say Eric was the one who signed and filled out the form. Eric doesn't know his own phone number. He doesn't know his own social security number. He decided to leave it to Kouri instead of the trust, like everything else. And then he signed it in a way that he's never signed it before, but the way Kouri signs her signature. That's very peculiar.
Finally, count 5, the forgery charge. We've discussed most of the forgery when we discussed count 3. But there's this without the authority to do so element. It's not a forgery if Eric gave Kouri Richins permission. The state has to prove that Kouri Richins did not sign Eric's name with permission.
Well, if Kouri signed it with his permission, Kouri knows her husband's phone number as well. So she would have intentionally put the wrong phone number. Why? Because she was trying to hide something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. If she doesn't get hit with the fraud charges, I'm going to be like, what the fuck is happening?
With authority. All of the evidence in this case proves that Kouri Richins does not ask for permission, she takes. She took with the home equity loan. She took other people's money. She's a taker, not an asker. Finally, like I mentioned earlier, Eric Richins, the evidence proves, would have put the trust as the beneficiary, not Kouri Richins. If he had given permission, it would have been permission to make the trust the beneficiary.
Yeah, like everything else.
That's the forgery charge. Let's please now turn to Kouri's motive for a fresh start at life. You heard the instructions. The state does not have to prove any motive except for the pecuniary gain motive because it's an aggravator. But motive explains why Kouri murdered Eric Richins, why she attempted to murder him. Motive explains a lot here. These texts at this point are familiar.
Took until there was nothing left.
The day after Kouri Richins speaks with Becky Lloyd and tells Becky Lloyd she would be better if Eric were dead, she texts Josh Grossman that she's in love with him, a man not her husband. If I was divorced right now and asked you to marry me, would you? That's the day after the attempted murder.
They're pretty bad, the shirts, yeah. Went to
If you
jail
could
today.
just go away,
Remember the white
you
shirt
could
with
just
the weird
be here.
flowers?
Life would be so perfect.
Looking like a grandma.
We're familiar with this text. We've read it already today.
I love their texts. That's what got me hooked on this.
I ask you to read it again.
Who? Eric? No, Eric's dead. Josh is alive.
This time, replace the word divorce with the word murder.
She had already been to a divorce lawyer and realized that she wouldn't be able to get anything because of the prenup. It got off to a slow start, but prosecution's looking pretty good now. They're looking pretty sharp, pretty snazzy. They threw in some stuff I'd never seen before.
This graphic shows a juxtaposition between Josh and Eric that is insightful to what Kouri thinks about each of them. In each instance, she is texting, well, she is kind of simultaneously texting. These are laid out chronologically. She is simultaneously texting with both Josh and Eric about closing on the Midway mansion. And she's so excited she is so excited texting with Josh. I can't believe it. I want to celebrate with you. Love you, love you, love you. Thank you for always being my support, shoulder, and rock. I need you all the time. Some things I could never do without your encouragement. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. Eric tries to reach out. You want a shot? Can't. Sorry, busy. Then right back to Josh Grossman. To me, you're worth millions a year. I'm honored to be your best friend, your lover, your go-to.
I want the baby cakes love letter. Like I said, if you guys know where that love letter is that she left on the sandwich, please let me know. I want to read it.
Life is going to be different, I promise. You're one hell of a patient person. I hate your hard days. I wish I could be there to turn them around for you. Can I try Friday? Give me a few days. Hang in there until then, please.
I just gotta kill my husband.
By Friday, of course, Eric Richins was dead. Kouri had murdered him. She's right. Life's going to be different. She promised him. It was. Then, 16 days after Kouri Richins murdered Eric, are we there yet? And then 1 month later, Kouri's ready for Kouri's ready for Josh to be her husband.
Wait. If you have a fuck ton of debt and you get married. Because, like, what would be the point of marrying Josh? She can't get anything out of Josh, but she could split the debt. You know what I'm saying? So, like, wouldn't her debt become his debt? Is that not how marriage works? And then she could get divorced, and then half of the debt's his fucking problem now. And then she could marry someone else. And then she could just divorce that guy, and then, you know, she could just keep splitting, like, having it. Is that the plan? Because I really, like, what the fuck would be the point of marrying Josh?
Josh Grossman loved Kouri Richins. He believed that she loved him. Not sure that's true.
Josh got nothing. She's got no job,
You
no
saw him
ambitions.
testify. He was gutted. He's a grown.
Exactly. He thinks she's rich. So in Josh's mind, this is a good idea until he finds out, and then he's going to get divorced anyways, and then he's fucked.
Ass man gutted. You also observed Kouri Richins' affect when he testified. Flat. The evidence proves that Kouri Richins murdered, attempted to murder Eric Richins, and that she committed 2 counts of insurance fraud and forgery. The evidence does not support any other rational explanation. The state, since its opening statement, has stressed the requirement to consider the evidence that has been admitted and not what the attorneys say. What the attorneys say, insinuate, speculate, is not evidence.
It's just a crazy story.
Please let me show you why the state has stressed this. In the defense's opening statement, counsel said that the evidence will show that Kouri Richins had a 1/2 interest in the Willow Court home.
I guess it would depend on how much she would get for the life insurance, right? Like, let's say you're $8 million in debt, and the life insurance policy is only $1 million, then you're just $7 million in debt. But if you just divorced him, then he would have $4 million in debt, and you would have $4 million in debt. Maybe. I don't really know if that's how it works. But in my mind, I'm like, maybe that's how it works. So in that case, maybe it would be better to just divorce him and not kill him. But then it would get around the last guy. If you're only like $10,000 in debt, then it would make sense to kill your spouse. It's the insurance would outweigh severely the debt that you're in.
There's no evidence of that, and indeed
don't do any of this, by the way. This is terrible. This is a terrible idea for anybody.
Contrary evidence. Defense counsel said that the evidence would show that Eric was always checking Kouri's phone. There's no evidence of that. Defense counsel said that the evidence will show Eric and Kouri Richins went to marriage counseling. There's no evidence of that. Defense counsel said that the evidence will show in the few weeks before Eric died, his closest friend thought that he and Kouri Richins were the happiest together that the friend had ever seen. There's no evidence of that. Defense counsel said that the night Eric died, he and Kouri Richins had their drinks and set their cups in the sink. There's no evidence of that. Defense counsel said that the evidence will show that the cups were sitting in the sink and the nanny put them in the dishwasher the next morning and they still had fluid in them. There's no evidence of that. Defense counsel said...
So it's only if you co-sign? That's good.
...that Eric talked to a friend named Scott Wagner at 10 p.m. the night he died. There's no evidence of that, and indeed, contrary evidence. Defense counsel said that the evidence would show Eric unlocked Kouri Richins' phone at 10:30 p.m. the night he died, and this is the...
You just got to do a fancy prenup at that point that says we get half. We split all debts and we also split all earnings. And if Josh thinks she's like a millionaire, then he'll sign it thinking that he'll get half, but really he's getting half of the debt. That would be the workaround, I guess.
The last thing that he did, there's no evidence of that. Defense counsel said,
and it would be easy to sell to Josh because you could be like, do you trust the government, Josh? They sent you to war and you almost died, but you trust me, right? I gave you a house and I let you fuck me. And you're good at finding trees and stuff.
That the evidence would show investigators interviewed Kouri over and over and over again about what happened the night that Eric died. There's no evidence of that. Defense counsel said that the evidence would show that law enforcement secretly recorded Kouri Richins' phone conversations for over a year after Eric died. There's no evidence of that, and indeed contrary evidence. Defense counsel said that you will hear Kouri Richins telling her family that she purchased pain pills for Eric at his request. You did not hear that, although she did write it in the Walk the Dog letter 4 months after she was arrested. In listening to defense counsel's closing argument, please only consider the evidence that has been admitted.
No baby cakes letter?
Ms. Lewis.
Maybe the defense will put in the baby cakes letter.
Your Honor, could we address something outside the presence of the jury before
Of
we
course.
start?
Folks, let's give you an opportunity to stretch your legs, use the restroom. Please rise for the jury.
We can skip ahead. Hey, woman, what are you going on about, Ursula? Oh, she's making that face. Did I break it?
Observations of Ms. Richins' demeanor are not evidence, and they are to rely on their observations of Ms. Richins, if any, only.
I just don't even think...
Hold up. She must have said something for him to say that. Sorry.
The court's instructions on what it takes.
What the fuck? How long did you go on for? Forever. Okay, they stood up here, right?
Points. First of all,
There we go.
at multiple points in the prosecution's closing, he made efforts to dehumanize the defendant, in fact, calling her a black widow, comparing her to a deadly spider, calling her a narcissist when there's been no evidence introduced to support that, no expert testimony,
Did you say
nothing of the
narcissist?
nature.
I don't remember narcissist.
Furthermore, it's completely improper for the prosecution to comment on her demeanor while she sat at counsel table. That's a comment on her failure to testify. Asking the jury to take into consideration facial expressions, which in his opinion may or may not have happened. I don't know what he's basing that on.
Probably her expressions. I don't know. We're gonna go see it.
But it's improper, and it's our suggestion that is a comment on her failure to testify by revealing what her response to testimony was, is calling upon her to testify in this case. Furthermore, in the closing, there was wild speculation on what was in Kouri Richins' mind, completely made up by Mr. Bloodworth with no evidence whatsoever to support it. Also, Mr. Bloodworth wrongly told the jury that giving any illicit street drugs to Mr. Richins was sufficient to support aggravated murder. That, in fact, is not true. The only drug that would support aggravated...
What about lying about it? What about actively covering it up? What about that? What about after he's dead doing that?
Murder would be fentanyl. What he said to the contrary is not consistent with the court's instructions, and we would ask that that be corrected with a curative instruction, that they should follow the court's instructions on what it takes. It would not be sufficient if she bought some other type of drug that did not cause his death. That's just not the law.
I think his point was it could have been anything, but she chose fentanyl, one of the deadliest drugs on the street that could kill you with a nanogram. I think that's what the point was to that.
I think that's it, Your Honor.
3 nanograms.
Mr. Bloodworth? Forgive me.
Does he have to even respond? What do you think, Judge? Is he just sitting there shrugging? Like that? Like, what do you want me to say to that?
Can you tell as I go through these?
Yeah.
Which of these do you want a curative instruction regarding? In which of these are you moving for a mistrial on?
Moving for Mr.
Didn't I say? I said the other. I was like, they're just gonna try to get a mistrial.
Trial on all of it, Your Honor. The curative instruction, I think, is required by the wrongful information that giving him any illicit street drug.
I thought that because they were letting the jurors out into the wild. I was like, are they just gonna like fucking try to track the jurors to be like, oh no, they violated the thing, mistrial, we have to do it all over again with a new jury? Like, I don't know. I didn't know what the plan was here, but apparently they're like, this is just nonsense. Mistrial
Is sufficient to support aggravated murder. That's just not true.
That's the first time I've
and
heard
that's
it.
super important, because if they do believe that, there is evidence to make a finding that there was oxycodone. And there was no oxycodone found in his body. So that can't support a conviction. So that's what I think requires the curative instruction. The rest of it, I don't know any way you can cure it, Your Honor.
The Utah Court of Appeals disagrees with you regarding the prosecutor's comment.
But to just lay out what the fuck she's talking about there, all that means is the guy thought he was buying oxys and it was fentanyl, because oxys are hard to come by these days. That's all that means. Just because Robbie misnamed the drug he was selling, it doesn't mean that because there was no oxycodone found in his body that it couldn't be linked to her at all. I think that's what the point was there.
It's a long line of cases talk about the potential prejudicial effect of an improper comment by a prosecutor only being able to be measured after the defense gives its closing and the state gives its rebuttal and we consider any curative instructions. What's your alternative position there? I could, for example, instruct the jury that Mr. Bloodworth's observations of Ms. Richins' demeanor are not evidence, and they are to rely on their observations of Ms. Richins, if any, only.
I just don't even think that her demeanor is proper to rely upon, because she didn't
Certainly
testify.
Can be. I mean, she burst out in laughter during the showing of the decedent's body. I don't think it would be appropriate for me to tell the jury you can't possibly consider that.
I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. I totally trust you, but I have no
You don't know what he's talking about?
recollection of any laughter when his body was
No,
showing.
it was a
Exactly. It's a hypothetical, you goofball.
hypothetical, Ms. Nestor.
Oh,
to
thank
probe
goodness.
the bounds of your categorical statement that the jury can never consider the defendant's demeanor.
I'm sorry. I thought you were saying she did that, and I was just horrified.
Please
so.
stay focused.
But I am focused. I just misheard you.
Stay focused, Ursula.
So, is what you're asking me is, do we want a curative instruction now? Do we want to wait until later? Is that what the court is asking?
Right.
Court's indulgence for just a moment. Okay, I think we do want it now, if we can get one now.
What do they want now?
Let's hash that out for a second. What I proposed was an instruction that the jury may rely on their own observations, if any, of Ms. Richins' demeanor in trial, but they cannot rely on counsel's statements regarding what Ms. Richins' demeanor was. I want to be clear, there were no comments regarding her silence.
Well, I mean, it's our position that when you comment on how she looked while she remained silent at counsel table, that is a comment on her silence in our estimation. But I agree that he didn't say anything specifically about silence.
What he said was the only time she's shown any emotion was when her debts were being shown, because it showed a fault, like it showed a flaw in her character. The facade was shattered, and it upset her because she's a egotistical, crazy person. That was the point. You just strike that. Sure, we can just strike that. Fucking doesn't mean anything. All the other evidence is sufficient, I think. Mistrial over that. Get out of here.
That instruction would be preferable to no instruction, I think.
Okay. And then the Black Widow comment was connected to comments that were made by Chelsea Barney, correct?
They came out of his mouth in closing.
Just called her Black Widow. I think it's accurate. Let's look at the definition of Black Widow. Your definition. So, a highly venomous American spider. No, what was the other one? Okay, well, we're gonna... Merriam-Webster? We should use an actual dictionary, you know what I'm saying? Poisonous spider, a venomous spider. It has to be in the dictionary. This is a known expression of a woman who kills her husband. So they're not a widow, they're a black widow. And a black widow is a spider, but it's saying that because like the black widow would eat its partner, right? How did that? I'm surprised it's not just there. I don't want to like source, or I don't think Court would source Urban Dictionary. I was pretty sure it'd be in Webster's, but I guess not.
And he specifically referenced Chelsea Barney's testimony. Is it your position that Chelsea Barney never used that phrase or words?
I don't recall her saying that, but it's been a long trial, and I would not want to make that I 1000% am sure, but I certainly don't recall that.
If she's guilty, she would by definition be a black widow, is what my point was trying to be. But I guess it's just slang.
It was in the recorded
It's a common, though. It's an old slang.
phone call with Bryce Knutson.
And then
Black widower?
everybody is speculating as to defendant's state of mind. It's one of the factual issues that the jury will have to determine according to circumstantial evidence, because as we instruct them, there's no direct evidence of what's in her mind. Why was anything that Mr. Bloodworth said regarding the inferences that can be drawn regarding her state of mind inappropriate?
Because they were made up out of whole cloth with no evidence to back it up.
You're going to have to be more specific.
So he went to great lengths to fantasize about what she was thinking about when there's been no evidence to that. He could have certainly said, look, she could have been thinking this, she could have been thinking that. He didn't. He gave them what was in her mind, which is just based on things he made up in his own head, not based on evidence.
Why aren't they all based on his view of the evidence that came in at trial? Was there any references to evidence that did not come in?
Well, first of all, calling her a narcissist I mean, that didn't come in. There was no testimony that she's ever been diagnosed to have a narcissistic personality disorder. There's no evidence at all about her mental condition.
I think he was using it more as a generality, like it's narcissistic to do something like that.
And then when he talked about
not as like a diagnosis.
Her putting
just like you can say that someone's actions are psychotic, but they're not diagnosed as a psychopath, right?
reasoning why she picked certain days to get more attention, nothing about that has ever come in to play.
Nah, public defender, she's too much in debt to hire real lawyers, I think.
Ever. I mean, that's just one of many. He went through lots of scenarios about what she was thinking as if it was a fact, and it wasn't. So, I mean, I think he can encourage the jury to use circumstantial evidence to try to reach their own conclusions, but he can't say this was in her mind when he doesn't know.
I remember someone in chat said taxpayer dollars. I spent $2 million taxpayer dollars on these goofballs.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it, Your Honor.
Mr. Bloodworth, go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, were there any particular points that defense counsel raised that remain unresolved in the court's mind?
Any objection to the proposed instruction regarding the jury must rely on their own observations, if any, of defendant's demeanor, but cannot consider counsel's statements regarding her demeanor?
No objection.
Okay. And then the statement regarding giving any kind of illicit street drug is sufficient to show the murder count. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that.
He got all messed up on the stand.
I did catch.
There was one point, he was like this. He was like this. And they were like, you have to turn around. You can't just fucking be facing the wall, Josh. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, he was, I don't know. If you haven't seen it, you should go back and watch it. It's funny.
That comment. They're not making that one up. Now, there was more, and in the total course of the state's initial opening, I think you made it clear that you were encouraging the jury to make specific findings beyond a reasonable doubt regarding each required element. Mm-hmm. There was that initial comment, though. I don't think an instruction regarding having trouble crafting a curative instruction that doesn't just give a theory of the case. What's your view of this?
Your Honor, I don't think anything needs to be cured. The state does not have to prove that the defendant intended to murder Eric Richins with fentanyl.
True.
The state only needs to prove that the defendant intended to murder him with the illicit street drugs that she purchased from Carmen Lauber.
And that they contained fentanyl. Yeah.
I think the point of that was she didn't even know if it was fentanyl or not. She asked for the Michael Jackson drug. Carmen was like, is this fentanyl okay? She was like, I don't give a fuck. And then she just tried to kill him, right?
Well, on the second element or the aggravator? Because there's a distinction there.
I think on both. She has to actually knowingly or intentionally cause the death for count one. So if she buys something that she thinks is OxyContin.
Correct.
And intends the giving of the OxyContin to kill him. And it turns out that what she got was blue M30s that had fentanyl and it killed him. The difference between aggravated murder and murder is irrelevant. She is committed an aggravated murder. What the distinction I think that I acknowledge is that she doesn't have to intend to kill him with fentanyl. Correct. She has to intend to kill him with poison. Even if she thought she was getting one and got the other.
Correct.
As long as it worked.
I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm glad when like the common sense thing is the thing that's happening. Like it gives me faith in the world, man. We've had a hard year so far. It's only like fucking 3 months in and I'm already sick of 2026.
Correct.
She committed the crime. Correct.
I think that's what I said throughout.
I think that is the weight of the argument overall that you made.
If there's a particular sentence I said that
Brooke might be financially better off than Kouri Richins. Like, Kouri Richins had a lot of debt.
Is different than that, then I agree we should cure it, but I don't think I said anything different than that.
On this one, Ms. Nestor, I think the better course, rather than
Yogi
for
Bear.
the court to insert itself at this
A
point,
suave Yogi
is
Bear.
to allow the rest of closing to play out, and we can readdress this issue at the end.
Okay.
I expect that this issue will get teased out in detail through Ms. Lewis's closing and the state's rebuttal. Give me a moment to collect my thoughts regarding the others. All right, thank you. Court will be in recess until... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Can I just maybe say one thing?
Yes, please.
The state did not refer to the defendant as a narcissist. The state said that that was a narcissistic injury.
Right, I got it.
Hell yeah. She could have just said injury to her ego. If he said ego instead of narcissistic injury, they wouldn't have even had the ability to fucking object to it. Maybe he wanted them to, though, just so, like, they're really grasping at straws. It might, maybe that's what he wants? I don't know. I can only speculate.
11:40, please. We'll be in recess.
All right.
All right. Let's see.
Motion for mistrial. So for state and the defendant are present on the record in 231-500-139. Counsel for state and the defendant are present. The defendant is present as well. Counsel, this is what I propose. Let me give you a ruling regarding defendant's motion for mistrial.
Yeah, this is still jury. They told the jury to get out while they discussed this, and then now they're back in.
Then I'd propose I give the jury the curative instruction related to evidence of defendant's demeanor. Then I'd propose we take a lunch break, Ms. Lewis, so we're not interrupting your closing.
I agree with that.
Okay. Any objection, Mr. Bloodworth?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. The issue before the court is a motion for mistrial and request for curative instruction in the alternative made by defendant on the record this morning. The motion for mistrial is based upon several comments made by Mr. Bloodworth in the state's initial opening that, in defendant's view, are so improper as to require a mistrial. The court will address defendant's arguments one at a time.
I hope I get a trial by jury if I ever go to court for some crazy reason. I think I could win over the jury. I'd be like, yeah, let them do whatever they want. Let me just get me on the stand. I can set them straight. It'll be fine.
First, the defendant,
as long as I'm actually innocent, you know. If I'm guilty, then that's a whole different story.
Argues that Mr. Bloodworth's reference to Chelsea Barney using the phrase Black Widow during a recorded telephone conversation that was played for the jury, though Chelsea Barney's comment was not admitted for its truth, improperly compares defendant to some kind of terrible insect. The court listened.
That's crazy. It's not a common. I swear it's a common thing.
To the comment in real time during the state's opening. That is not a fair characterization. Rather, that was a rhetorical flourish by Mr. Bloodworth comparing comments by one witness or the defendant herself to her becoming a widow to Chelsea Barney, referring to her being referred to or considered as a black widow. It's not a reference to an insect. Rather, it's a reference to, in the court's view of Chelsea Barney's comment, a spouse that kills another spouse. There's nothing.
There you go. We can't even have any fun here, man. You know, in their opening statement, the defense's opening statement, she's like, they're gonna show you a witch, and I'm gonna show you a widow. Well, he said she did not become a widow that day. She became a black widow. Like, it's just fucking putting some theatrics into it. Jesus, jumping. Everyone knows what a black widow is, all right?
So improper or improper at all about that comparison, which has a factual foundation in Chelsea Barney's statements that were played for the jury as to support a request for mistrial or require any other relief. Moreover, the defendant requests a mistrial based upon In defendant's view, Mr. Bloodworth
I quit Mountain Dew.
characterizing Ms. Richins as a narcissist. Defendant argues that that is unsupported and improper expert testimony from counsel that has no basis in the evidence. The actual phrase used by Mr. Bloodworth was narcissistic injury in relation to Ms. Richins' hearing from Brooke Carrington when she testified that, in the state's view, defendants' appearances of wealth and success were not accurate. That is permissible line of advocacy during closing argument. It is not testifying in any way by Mr. Bloodworth. It is not otherwise prejudicial or unfairly prejudicial. With respect to Mr. Bloodworth's argument related to defendant's demeanor, the court determines that in an abundance of caution it is appropriate to instruct the jury that they may consider their observations of defendant's demeanor in the courtroom, if any, but they may not consider counsel's statements regarding counsel's observations of defendant's demeanor, as counsel's statements and counsel's observations are not evidence. Moreover, the court notes that Mr. Bloodworth did not comment on Ms. Richins' silence or in otherwise implicate her protected right to choose not to testify. Mr. Bloodworth's statements regarding what the state believes it has proven regarding defendant's state of mind at various points in time is permissible advocacy based upon evidence in the record. And defendant's counsel will have ample opportunity to try to persuade the jury to draw different inferences from that same evidence regarding defendant's state of mind. There's no basis for a mistrial there. And regarding any misstatement by Mr. Bloodworth in his initial comments regarding count one that may have created confusion as to whether the state needed to show that regardless of her intent to purchase, secure, or otherwise administer fentanyl, all the state needs to show is that Kouri Richins intended to purchase, secure, and administer poison, and that it happened to contain fentanyl. That was, on the one hand, borne out in detail through the rest of the state's initial closing, and the court expects will be borne out in detail through defendant's closing and the state's rebuttal. The court determines that no curative instruction is necessary on that point at this time. Mr. Bloodworth, any clarification?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Nestor?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Are we ready for the jury, Mr. Bloodworth?
Yes, sir.
Ms.
The jury's not even here yet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Until 12:45. During the break, as always, please do not discuss the case. Please, quick turnaround. Okay. Thank you for your patience. A quick instruction and then a scheduling note. First, a quick instruction. You may consider your observations of defendant's demeanor
so he's just giving the
during
instructions
trial,
to the jury
but you
about
may not consider
what we just heard.
counsel's statements regarding counsel's observations of defendant's demeanor because counsel's statements are not evidence. We're going to break now for lunch so that we do not interrupt defendant's counsel's closing argument for the lunch break. We will take a recess until 12:45. During the break, as always, please do not discuss the case. Please do not allow anyone to discuss it with you. Please do not do any research whatsoever about the case. We'll be in recess until 12:45. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the live right now. Let me grab. I have the playlist down here. I just gotta pull it up. It was I don't even know why I have this here. This is because from one stream, but this thumbnail always messes me up. How do I remove this from this playlist? remove. I called Kouri Richins the true crime lady when I first heard of her, because I don't fucking know who this was. Day 7, I think this was...
I'll spit one way or another.
Yeah, this is the forensic accountant going over the nonsense. Well, not the nonsense. I also wanted to see the friend. Well, we could do it. I want to take a quick smoke break, anyways. Not like really a break, but we can do a poll to see what you guys want to watch. Like, do you guys want to watch Eric's best friend, Kouri's best friend, or this forensic accountant go over her fucking millions dollars of debt while we wait for them to come back? And then I'm just gonna smoke real quick while you guys vote on the poll. So what to watch while in recess? Whoops. So Kouri's BFF, Eric's BFF, or forensic accountant. So vote on that. Here, we'll just have that on there right now. With the be right back cat, just in case, like, I guess they might come back. What if something crazy happens and they come back? You guys can see that, but I'll just be smoking real quick. What new features available? I'm using your fucking thing right now. Remind me later. Just close this actually. OBS is trying to fucking get me to update OBS. I'm using you, OBS. Anyway. Vote on the poll. Vote on the poll. I'll be back.
Piercing pale blue eyes, pupils pin like a trap. Hair looks like a lion's mane, a Farrah Fawcett mishap. Bronze as thick as armor, candy corn, leather skin from the sun. I shop at Dollar General, baby, collecting shit I don't need, is so fun. Got my electrolytes, baby wipes, and fabuloso stash. Scored water razors and a Slim Jim, all for $12. Pretty girls always win. Cops keep asking what I'm doing around here, but I know they're sent by the haters that sneer. I cross my arms, disappointed and steer with my knee, ran about big farm and conspiracies on 5G. Fast food rappers sitting on the dash, changing vape pods while I avoid a crash. I got no money to pay my car that's due, then I cry. I'm starving with a half-eaten burger in view. Fueled by pop eyes and Bohang Ulis, she'll school you hard with a greasy smirk. Sights the onion while she goes berserk. Sees a flash in the sky, look, it's a miracle. No, you dummy, it's just a SpaceX fumble. Talks about science, the war, and society. Smarter than everyone, but says spits the COs in library. Rants about crime she never did commit. Brags about the one she did, can't quit. Her 2 kids taken by CPS, and she's a 3-time felon. Doing the right thing will never quite click in that melon. Trash talks the LGBTQ community and illegal immigrants. They're stealing all the jobs, y'all, that's why I can't get hired. Then blocks everyone in her chat for trying to inspire. Old man Randy co-signed my Chevrolet. Now I call him my kidnapper every other day. Say he's stalking me while I hang in his yard, telling all of you tubies an abusive fucktard. Perverts and stalkers better watch your backs, cause I'll hunt you down. I got a knife for you, Jack. Y'all don't understand, they're all out to get me. Alley Financial won't stop harassing. Internet trolls won't wanna fuck me. Y'all are jealous, I'm a pretty girl. Listen, I'm the only creep.
What is hold on a minute. What was Megastorm? Severe storms and blizzards. I don't even know about that. I thought it was gonna be like solar storm or something. Is it because of a blizzard? Back to the live. Hold on. That's why the song's cutting out. My internet's being really unstable right now. It's going like way above the kill. Kilobytes per second and then way below, so I'm just like trying to let it figure itself out. Thank you, Anna, for the $20. The $20 pair. Here, let's in this bowl here. Forensic Accountant 1. The eclipse? There's an eclipse? You guys can hear me okay, though? I'll pull this up. I'll pull this down on my other screen just so I can kind of like keep an eye on it. And make sure it doesn't like crash or anything like that. And, okay, it looks like we're back to normal with the internet. There's some weird blip or something. You know what? I have a new theory. I think the internet company secretly throttles my internet after a certain usage point, because it's fine and it's been fine for a while, and then Call of Duty had an update, and when Call of Duty updates I have to delete the whole thing and then reinstall it, and that's like hundreds of gigabytes, and then suspiciously I have internet problems after that. It's very peculiar. So I just think the next Call of Duty update, I'm just going to delete Call of Duty completely and never play it again. Because that's literally the only difference. If it's not some kind of external weather or internet service provider issue, which I do not think it is. I do not think it's that. Other than them throttling. I think they're secretly throttling because we're like, oh, this guy's using too much data. I would rather use that data for streaming. That makes me fucking money than, how much did she testify for? Wait, is this her too? That is her too. What the fuck? This whole thing is her? 7 hours of her? Okay, we're not gonna get through all this, but, they really just question her all day? That's crazy. No way.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
What, ma'am, is your name?
What, ma'am, is your
Brooke
name?
Carrington.
Is that spelled Karrington?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I am a forensic accountant.
What is a forensic accountant?
Well, it is based on accounting, but it takes it some extra steps further than that. I look for a lot of the source of funds, the disposition of funds, what the transactions really mean, more than just the balancing of transactions and getting to a black and white number at the bottom. I try to understand more of the landscape and more of why things make sense and why they don't in the financial documentation that I look at.
More of a narrative?
Yes.
What, ma'am, is your education and training in forensic accounting?
I've been at this for 38 years, and I have a bachelor's in English, I have an MBA, and I have several certifications that support that.
Who's your employer?
I have a firm. It's a small firm. We're based in Salt Lake City.
Do you teach or present as it relates to forensic accounting?
Yes, I've presented many times over the years to Masters of Accounting students, mostly quite often at the business school at the University of Utah. And I am the adjunct professor of the fraud examination and forensic accounting course at the University of Utah's business school.
Did you also have a hand in developing the curriculum for that course?
I did. I created it from scratch. I got no help.
You had two hands.
Two hands.
Ma'am, have you testified as an expert before?
Yes, I have.
Have you testified in state cases?
State cases, yes.
Federal cases?
Federal cases, yes.
Have you testified on behalf of both plaintiffs and plaintiffs and defendants?
That's correct, yes.
And both the state and the defense?
Yes.
About how many times?
Hundreds. I don't know how many.
When did you begin testifying?
I think the first time I testified for real was probably in 1991 or 2, something like that.
And consistently since then?
Yeah, fairly consistently, yes.
Did the state engage you to forensically examine Kouri Richins' finances and related business practices leading up to and shortly after Eric Richins' death?
Yes.
And to value Eric Richins' estate at the time of his death?
Yes, that's right.
Did the state put any restrictions whatsoever on the scope of your forensic examination?
None.
Did the state restrict the time frame?
No.
Did the state restrict the types of transactions?
No.
The types of loans involved?
No.
Any restrictions at all?
No.
Did the state engage you on May the 31st, 2023?
Yes.
Is Summit County paying you for your time?
Yes, they are.
Are they paying you at your customary rate?
Yes, that's right.
Prior to the state engaging you, did you perform forensic accounting work for the estate of Eric Richins?
Yes, I did.
What accounting work did you perform for the estate of Eric Richins?
As I recall, most of the focus at that time was the use by Kouri Richins of the estates, the family money, and particularly the home equity line of credit that she had taken out against the home where the family lived.
I don't know. You know what we're going to do, though? I'm going to stop this stream. I'm going to make another stream with the latency set a bit higher. So instead of ultra low, it'll just be low. And then also, I want to reset the internet. And what was the other thing I wanted to do? Just while they're on recess, because we have like a little bit of time, I can try to OBS wanted to update. I update OBS. Is that what it wants? It wants me to fucking update it, and then I should solve our issues. I hope it solves our issues because the internet's being a little so I can actually here. I'll just make the stream really quick right now. I'll let this lady keep talking for a second while I make the stream, and then I can auto redirect you guys, and then I'll be like just a quick minute while OBS updates and stuff, and then we'll be back live.
Did there come a time when you stopped working for the estate of Eric Richins?
Yes.
When was that?
Well, I began working for them when Kouri Richins had filed a lawsuit against Katie Benson as the trustee of Eric's estate. And so that was the very end of April into May of 2022. And then I worked throughout that summer. And then at some point, the estate got new attorneys. And I had a Zoom call, maybe 2, with them to kind of get them up to speed. And then after that, I didn't have a role in the case. I recall maybe they asked me for some follow-up to clarify some of the work that I'd already done. So it's really hard for me to determine exactly when I stopped working, but by the fall of 2022, I was done. I did have some additional kind of follow-up stuff. It's kind of a cloudy answer, but that's my best guess.
Did the estate of Eric Richins pay you approximately $14,000 for your services?
Yes.
After they paid you, did you have any further interaction with the estate of Eric Richins?
No.
Ma'am, what documents did you study to conduct your forensic analysis related to this case?
I've reviewed probably hundreds of thousands of documents, and their deeds of properties, the loan agreements for the loans on those properties, loan agreements for a set of payday loans that Kouri Richins had, the UCC filings that are filed with the state of Utah associated with many of those loans, bank account statements for 27 accounts, and those include the family account that Eric Richins and Kouri Richins shared, from which they paid their household expenses, Eric's business accounts, Kouri Richins' business accounts, her personal accounts, checking accounts at America First Credit Union, Navy Federal Credit Union, credit card accounts, the home equity line of credit account. I also reviewed, were we just talking documents?
Yeah, let's continue with documents. Did you review any emails?
Tons of emails for many different purposes. I reviewed insurance policies and insurance payout documents.
Okay, you stop there. All right. It'll just auto redirect you to the other stream. We'll be live again before 2:22. I just got to fix some settings. I'll be back.